We're Sarah and Ben. We're on a Scandinavian adventure.
Welcome back to Diamonds on Tour. Hello.
Hi. We've been on a boat trip today. It's very, very lovely indeed. We came here on the fast boat, and this, let me turn you round. You can see...
Maybe you can see. That's
the fjord.
Oh, the fjord, not the ferry.
No, not the ferry.
Okay.
So this is Lysefjord, and now we are at Lysebotn. Absolutely stunning. It is brutally cold and brutally windy, or it was on the boat anyway, so we'll show you some of our pictures that we got from there. It was a stunning ride up. Yeah, fabulous.
So we're all wrapped up now. We came on this really fast ferry, a passenger ferry with very comfortable seats. It was like the Rolls Royce of ferries really, and I've chosen to go back on a slower ferry. It's a car ferry, and we've just questioned whether there are going to be seats inside, and we hope to goodness there are, because otherwise we'll be dead by the time we get back.
We've decided that
hypothermia.
If there isn't somewhere on board with seats indoors, we're going to ask one of these people who's queuing up for the boat now in their car to see if we can sit in their car for the journey.
I've picked mine. It's quite a nice one.
Have you? Okay, very good, very good.
Yeah, it's good. So there we go. But I think it's going to have a lounge area, perhaps a duty-free.
So we'll leave you now with the with some nice shots from the ferry. There was no need to worry. There's a lovely lounge on this little car ferry. Now, we've used quite a bit of electricity over the last few days, and because we've been doing short drives, it hasn't been charging up very much, because most of our charge comes from our alternator. We get 60 amps charge from that, and because where we are at this latitude, we don't get very much solar, even though it's an absolutely beautiful day outside. Look at that, stunning sunshine. We're getting 8.4 amps charge, and we're currently at 27% battery, so we need to deal with that. But I just thought I'd do an experiment about the advantage of our tilting solar system. So you saw it was 8.4 amps there. I'm going to tilt the panels and let's see how much we can get with them tilted. I've parked the van pointing due west, so the side that the tilt goes towards is due south, directly to the sun. So let's get them tilted and see how it looks. So there you go, that's the panels at their full elevation, pointing a lot more towards the sun. Right, let's go inside and see how much that's giving us. Well, 17.8 amps. Now it was 8.4 before, so you can see that is more than twice the charging current, and this is at, what are we? We're at 59 degrees north, which is quite an elevation, so we're heading up towards the Arctic, and you can really see the advantage of tilting your panels when you're using it at this sort of latitude. On the way back from our abortive hike to Pulpit Rock that you saw in last week's video, we decided to take the long way round to see a bit more of this area. On the map it looked like we'd be crossing a big bridge towards Stavanger, but when we got there we realised it was actually a tunnel. It seemed to go on forever. I joked that it felt like the longest tunnel in the world, but little did we know it actually was. Norway's road engineering really is remarkable. Right, now travelling in your camper van is not always plain sailing. I came to clear the dew off the windscreen this morning with the wipers. I put the key in, turned it on, and when I turned on the wipers, this happened. Yes, absolutely nothing. At the moment there's no rain, but it is rain forecast for Wednesday. So I've spent about half an hour this morning on the phone to a very nice lady in France at the RAC European Breakdown Company, and now we're waiting for a phone call back from them. Right, update from the nice French lady has told us to drive 4 miles down this road to a garage which they have emailed, and hopefully they can help. The first garage, which is called Auto Service Mandal, were very, very helpful, but couldn't actually achieve anything. This is stage, I think about 5 of the windscreen wiper saga. We've been to one Mercedes garage now in Kristiansand, which it turns out is Mercedes cars and don't deal with vans. So they've directed us to the Mercedes commercial garage, but here the Sprinter man is at lunch. So we've been asked to come back in 20 minutes when he's finished having his lunch. Latest updates then on our unexpected tour of all the motor mechanics and Mercedes truck dealerships in southern Norway. We're now heading towards our 3rd Mercedes garage and our 4th mechanics of the day. We're driving to Oslo now, to the dealership up there, parts department where he reckons they will have it in stock. We'll find out, won't we, when we get there. So join us in Oslo.
Ben, how far away is that?
Oslo is 191 miles from here, but we have been on the road for a little way, so I think it was 215 miles. Luckily, that's the way we're heading anyway, and double luckily, it's not raining. Now we've been having a little bit of a challenge with finding somewhere to fill up our drinking water, and overnight of course the taps would freeze, so they're all left turned off at this time of year. So I just asked at the counter in a petrol station, and the young chap behind the counter was super helpful, very, very friendly guy. He just said, oh yeah, no problem, if you can get your van round by the back door, I'll bring the fire hose out. So we drove round the back, and sure enough, there he was with a fire hose in his hand, and that's not a euphemism. And he just left us with it, so we were able to fill up our tank in not very much time because it had really good pressure. And yeah, just another example of if you don't ask, you don't get. People are just fantastic, ready to help out whenever they can.
As our busy day on the road starts to draw to a close, we're just heading into or through Oslo, and you can see the change of the buildings and the roads, and it's just like any other major city across the world. The norm in Norway is to put a tunnel under lots of things. They're very good, I must say. Doing very well.
Oh, we've completed our 5-hour drive for the hopefully final leg of our search for a new windscreen wiper switch. Unfortunately, we've arrived here after it's closed, so we're now trying to find somewhere where we can park for the night and then be back here first thing tomorrow morning. Fingers crossed. This was our park up last night. What a beautiful location here in the Norwegian countryside. We're just north of Oslo, where we stayed on this car park, basically just so that we could wait for the Mercedes dealership to open this morning to see if we can get these windscreen wipers fixed. It got down to -6 last night, but the van was absolutely perfect with all the heaters running now, so the engine's preheating. That means the demisters are working perfectly before even turning the engine on. That heater is a real bonus. Welcome to the concluding episode of the great Mercedes windscreen wiper saga. Now, we're very happy to report that we now have fully functioning windscreen wipers, and we're the proud owners of a brand new stalk here on the column. So Bertil Osteen, who seem to be the Mercedes people in this part of Norway, were able to help us out. They were super friendly, super helpful. They got the van straight into the workshop as soon as we went in, diagnosed the problem and ordered the part. It took about an hour for the part to arrive, and they fitted it and relieved us of 430 of our British pounds for the privilege. Probably on balance not too bad for main dealer service, and of course it had to be a main dealer because it's a factory part. So yeah, we're back on the road. We're now heading north towards a ski resort, which is where we're going to be staying for the next couple of days. We'll see you there.
I would just add to that we tried very hard to drink the equivalent in their coffee, because we sat the whole time in their lounge area. Nice comfortable seats, lovely and warm, and a decent coffee machine. So we gave it a good go. Oh, and what's more, the toilets were rather nice. You have to appreciate these things when you're a camper vanner.
With the Norwegian prices we've experienced so far, I think we might have drunk 430 euro or pounds of coffee.
That is one massive frozen mass of water. Huge, it's frozen. Look at that. That is Norway. So this morning I'm taking you with me to go for a shower. Follow me. Right, first I have to tackle the car park to get to the toilet and shower block. Here we go. Right, walk very carefully. This is just sheer ice. Made it to the top. Okay, now for the rest of it. So these are the loos and the toilets. These toilets are very warm in here. This is where you and I part company. See you in a bit. Right, well, that's me done. Back to the van. Treacherous footpath. Not bad scenery for outside the toilet, isn't it?
We've just stopped at this service station, pretty typical motorway services to try and top up our water, unsuccessfully unfortunately. However, this place is much like any service station that you'd get in the UK, except for one thing. You get a view like that as well. It's pretty special, isn't it? Absolutely stunning. Now this is the main road up through Norway towards Trondheim, which I guess is about halfway up the country, or not quite that far. It's single carriageway road, as you can see. It's mostly a 80 kilometre speed limit, kilometre an hour, and it's just a really leisurely sort of potter. It's a very quiet road. So it's just a case of setting the cruise control and taking it steady.
So as I said before, we've had trouble finding water, but sometimes if you just ask, then people are just so helpful. At this Circle K garage, we've got nice tap here, which is great. Not publicised, but just ask.
One thing that might be worth knowing, a lot of taps have this sort of fitting, so there's no actual knob to turn. So we brought our own knob with us, and it just goes on there and operates the tap. About £3 from Amazon. We've arrived at our next destination. We're going to go out now and have a look at what we can find. Now they say that if you're quiet and you sneak up through these woods, you might be able to see moose. So let's come with us and let's go and see what we can see. Sarah thinks she can see moose droppings. Now we're still looking for these moose. Let us know if you see one. Any sign?
No, I can't see.
No, I don't think I can see any in the woods over there. Should we look behind us? Oh my life, we found a moose.
Beautiful! Oh my god!
That is a real thing of beauty. Only thing is, can you see how much lower I am than you?
Yeah.
I sank. I take the camera, Sarah, and show everybody what happened to me. So I just stepped a few inches off the path and sank virtually up to my knees in the snow. Oh well, I've got wet legs now.
Storelgen, also known as the big elk or the big moose, was created in 2015 by artist Linda Back from Norway. It was at the time the biggest sculpture of an elk in the world. It surpassed Big Mac, the Canadian elk sculpture, by 20 inches. It's absolutely splendid, and it's made in stainless steel. Interestingly, it was made in Beijing because the Chinese came in with the best price and the best quality, so they went with that. It was brought over here in pieces and then put back together. Another fun fact is the elk in Canada, 20 inches shorter, remember, 4 years after the construction of this one, was given bigger antlers, so that it regained its title of the tallest elk sculpture in the world, Big Mac. But this is a beaut, absolute beaut. Love him. Big elk stands at 10.3 meters tall. I think he's my new best friend. Yes, well, Ben has pointed out that it's been so well developed, so well made. It's actually, you can tell it's a boy because it's got bits, boy bits. It's got boy bits right there. So childish. So childish.
The van is looking a little bit like it's been driving in snowy, mucky weather. As we leave Norway behind for a few weeks, we're going to leave this video here. If you enjoyed our time in Norway, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe and click the little bell so you don't miss next week's video when we start our travels in Sweden. Thanks for watching.